The sales tracking feature in the scheduling manager can be used to keep track of all your prospects and what sales stages they're at. So you can set that up on the customer information screen. If you click on the lead info tab for a customer, you'll notice the sales stage drop down menu here. So if we click on that drop down, you'll have certain initial options. What you see here in the drop down, this is actually completely customizable by you, and we'll go into that in a minute. So let's say, for example, that we try to call this prospect and we just get their voicemail. So we might make that initial sales stage left messages. And so when we save this, it's going to prompt us to enter a description for what happened. So might just say left message. There's a checkbox here for adding a reminder. So that could be very useful. For example, if you, in this case, you left a message for them, you might want to add a reminder for yourself to try them again tomorrow. So we'll save, click OK here. So then it will come up with the prompt for adding the reminder. So you can type in a little note in here. You can set what day and time you want this reminder to pop up. And you can also set what user you want this reminder to appear for, whether it's yourself or one of the other users in the software. And so you'll see that it automatically puts a note down here, a timestamp note. So these are separate special notes related just to the sales stages. You've also got, you'll notice, a bunch of fields on here. These you relabel them as you want, and I'll show you that in a second as well. You can also make it so that one of these has to have a value filled in or some other kind of restriction before you can change the sales stage. For example, you'll see one is labeled here inspection date. So if you wanted to force the user to fill in an inspection date in there before you can advance to the inspection scheduled stage, for example. So let's go in now. How to set up the different sales stages in the software and the sales process. So from your main screen in Scheduling Manager, if you go to File and Sales Process, so this is where you can set up like your tree for what you want your initial stages to be and then what you want the sub stages to be underneath that. For example, in this case, this is how I've built the tree so far. These are those initial options that you have in the drop down. If you go to left messages, for example, I can expand that. And then these are your next stages after that. So then after that, let's say you go to inspection scheduled, then the next stage is inspection complete, price quoted, and these are the additional or final sales stages. So, and on the right-hand side here, you'll see the different stages that you have here available to drop onto your tree. So it's just a question of picking one of these stages from the list and dropping them where you want it to go on the tree. And so you can just build out your tree like that. You can add these sales stages into the software. I'm just going to save and get out of this screen here for a second. So you can create those different sales stages for the options, what you see on the right-hand side there, by going here to File and Sales Stages. And so then it's just a question if you want to add in a new stage, you just click the Add icon here. And then it's just a question of giving the stage a name. Initial inquiry, for example. And then you've got a checkbox for final stage. So that would be for you to indicate that there aren't going to be any, I guess that ultimately it's that the prospect, the sale is won or lost. And that's it. Once you save that, if we come back into the sales process now, we should see there's that new stage that I just added there. So then you have it available to drop onto your tree. you also have those different sales stage fields, or those fields that we saw on the previous screen, the ones that you can relabel, the one that was labeled inspection date, for example. You can set those up here. So you can pick your own labels for each of those fields on here. That's that one that we saw so far that's labeled inspection date. So you can label them however. You can also add conditions to the different sales stages. For example, if you wanted to add a condition, let's say to this inspection complete stage, so you can right click on the stage and go to add modify stage conditions. So for example, you could set condition 1, you've got those fields, those user-defined fields on that sales process, that lead info tab on the customer information screen. So for example, if I want to make it that I can't move forward to this sales stage until there's something entered in the inspection date field, I could leave it as does not equals to, and then just leave the field blank. And obviously you could use this in different ways, make it that one of these fields has to equal a certain value. And that's it. And you just click save to save your settings there. There's also a sales stage report that you can run, which you can access from this icon up here. So you can have the report filtered by either the sales stage, which then you can choose to run it for all sales stages or just one particular sales stage. You could also choose to run the report by account manager, and I'll show you in a second how you can set the account manager on the customer information screen. So these would be to track the sales by your staff in your office, so your sales team, your in-house sales team. So if you wanted to see which prospects each of those salespeople have on the go, that this running it by account manager would do that. So we'll just run this by sales stage for the moment. I'm just going to backdate this a little bit so that it shows some information on it. And we'll click OK. And so then the report will show you all those prospects that you have in that range. And you can set that account manager for each prospect back on the customer information screen. So we'll just open this back up. So that's right here on the account info tab. So just here, the account manager. So this will show up on that report, that sales tracking report, sales stage report. So if you want to see the report broken up by account manager, this is where that would be pulling that from.